8-year-old John Grace Sophie Turner accidentally causes her mother Hannah Emily Anderson and maybe her father John Gray Scott Shepard to die in a car accident in 1975 by using her telekinesis. Zhang shielded herself from injury during the collision by surrounding herself with a shield of protecting energy. Soon after, she is brought to Xavier's school for gifted children by Professor Charles Xavier James McAvoy, who helps her develop her telepathic skills and mentally erases the accident from her memory. The 2019 superhero movie X-Men, Dark Phoenix is based on the X-Men characters from Marvel Comics. It is a straight follow-up to X-Men, Apocalypse 2016 and the 12th film in the X-Men film series. Simon Kinberg made his directing debut with the movie, which he also wrote and directed. Overview of the plotone of the most famous and sad X-Men tales is the one in Dark Phoenix, which centers on Jean Grey's metamorphosis into the very strong and lethal Phoenix. Seen in the 1990s, the X-Men have become national treasures. Sophie Turner's character Jean Grey, who is on a space rescue mission, gets a remarkable strength boost from an enigmatic cosmic force. Zhang's mental stability deteriorates as she battles to manage her newfound skills, leading her to strike out at those who are closest to her. The X-Men must face Zhang's menace when she changes into the Dark Phoenix, which causes a divide in the squad. They have to deal with an extraterrestrial species headed by Vuk Jessica Chastain, who wants to use Zhang's skills for their own purposes, as well as issues of loyalty, morality, and the prize of power. Welcome to iMovie Recap Plus Studios. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. 9 years after Ansaba Noor devastated the whole globe, in 1992, the Space Shuttle Endeavour sends out a distress signal after being severely damaged by an energy similar to a solar flare. The X-Men reply to the alert. As a result, the Space Shuttle has completely lost control and is not even able to make a return trip to Earth. A bizarre alien energy cloud is heading towards the shuttle's airlock. And although the X-Men Zhang, Hank, Peter, Kurt Wagner/Nightcrawler Cody smit-mcphee, Scott Summers, Cyclops Ty Sheridan, and Raven rescue every astronaut, one person is left behind. Xavier requests that everyone be retrieved, while Raven wants to go back to Earth. In order to rescue the trapped astronaut, Kurt and Zhang return inside. Kurt and the astronaut manage to flee, but Zhang is struck by the energy cloud. Zhang takes up all of the energy cloud as it approaches the X-plane, sparing the X-Men's plane from certain catastrophe. Zhang makes it through the ordeal, and as a consequence, her psychic abilities are substantially enhanced. Raven is furious at Xavier for consistently placing the squad in riskier circumstances. She thinks that Xavier is ready to sacrifice the mutants for his own fame since he is used to the limelight already. According to Xavier, the only way to guarantee that people would never see mutants as a danger is to use them to help humanity. They are living Xavier's life, not their own, Raven informs Hank. The only mutants remaining from the first class are Raven and Hank. She has a mental breakdown and unintentionally assaults the mutants rejoicing at Xavier's school at the same moment that Xavier's mental barrier is removed. Later, after learning that her father is still alive, she makes a trip to Red Hook, New York, the place where she spent her early years. When Zhang finally gets to see John, she finds out that despite his fear of mutants, he refused to take her back even though he knew she survived the collision. Zhang thinks Charles tricked her by lying to her and taking advantage of her abilities. The X-Men try to get Zhang back to the school, but before they can take off, she murders numerous local police officers and unintentionally kills Raven Darkholm, Mystique Jennifer Lawrence, and Peter Maximoff, Quicksilver Evan Peters, Magneto's son. Hank is furious with Charles for being a cunning person, and he becomes even angrier when Charles won't acknowledge his errors. When Zhang tries to use Eric Lensher, Magneto Michael Fassbender to help her manage her abilities, the US military personnel sent to capture her fight back, and Eric turns her away. Zhang flees to the mutant refugee island of Genosha. When Zhang finally gets to see John, she finds out that despite his fear of mutants, he refused to take her back even though he knew she survived the collision. Zhang thinks Charles tricked her by lying to her and taking advantage of her abilities. The X-Men try to get Zhang back to the school, but before they can take off, she murders numerous local police officers and unintentionally kills Raven Darkholm, Mystique Jennifer Lawrence, and Peter Maximoff, Quicksilver Evan Peters, Magneto's son. Hank is furious with Charles for being a cunning person, and he becomes even angrier when Charles won't acknowledge his errors. When Zhang tries to use Eric Lensher, Magneto Michael Fassbender to help her manage her abilities, the US military personnel sent to capture her fight back, and Eric turns her away. Zhang flees to the mutant refugee island of Genosha. In New York City, Zhang encounters Vuk Jessica Chastain, the head of the Debari, a shape-shifting extraterrestrial species. A few days before, Vuk had arrived on Earth after Zhang had absorbed cosmic energy and assumed the form of the first person she saw. Her shapeshifters had informed Vuk that Zhang was distressed by her abilities and distraught that she was murdering the people she loved because of the unpredictable nature of the power. Vuk informs Zhang that she is under the control of a cosmic energy that destroyed the Dibari home planet many years ago. The force had devoured everyone it encountered before focusing on Zhang. Through mastery of this force, Zhang is able to create life on planets and rise to the position of supreme authority throughout the galaxy. In the meanwhile, Eric and the mutant refugees team up with Hank McCoy, Beast Nicholas Holt, who feels deceived by Xavier's manipulation of Zhang's memory, in an effort to bring Zhang down in New York City. Eric wants retribution since Zhang withheld the information that she murdered Raven, which infuriates him. The X-Men face Eric and his group in New York City after discovering his plot to assassinate Zhang. Eric succeeds in sneaking inside the building to face Zhang during their fight, but her enhanced powers overwhelm him, and her blow knocks him unconscious. Then Xavier and Nightcrawler Cody smit-mcphee go into the structure. Zhang assaults them, but her personality comes back when Xavier gets her to read his memories. Zhang begs Vuk to take the power away from her out of regret, but it soon becomes apparent that doing so will kill her. Though Zhang faints from the experience, Xavier and Scott, Cyclops Ty Sheridan are able to stop Vuk from completely absorbing Zhang's energy. Just then, however, the US government sends forces to arrest the mutants using shotguns and power-disabling collars. The mutants from both groups are then put on a train that is traveling to a facility for mutant confinement. Remorseful, Xavier tells a very bitter Hank that Hank was correct to accuse him earlier of lying to Zhang and breaking her mental peace. Vuk attacks the train with her Dibari warriors. The mutants are released from their bonds and given the opportunity to fight the shapeshifters when they overwhelm the troops. Vuk shows up and moves for Zhang after the mutants have eliminated the majority of the Dibari attackers, taking down any mutant who tries to stop her. As this is going on, Xavier consults with Zhang virtually, enabling her personality to take command of her inner power. Zhang forgives Xavier and then goes on to annihilate the remaining Dibari aliens that assault her after saving the mutants from Vuk's attacks in the resulting train catastrophe. Vuk tries to deplete Zhang's might once again, but Zhang stops him in space, recovers the power that Dibari had previously taken, and kills Vuk. Then, when Zhang's entire potential is realized, she vanishes and releases a phoenix-shaped surge of energy. After Xavier's school is renamed the Zhang Grey School for gifted youngsters after the tragedy, Hank takes over as dean. Xavier has retired after decades of battling for the rights of mutants. Reunited with Eric during his Parisian settlement, Xavier grudgingly consents to play a game of chess with him. A fiery phoenix emerges in the sky as they begin to perform. Hey, film lovers, do you have a movie that you just can't stop talking about? We would love to talk to you. If you leave your suggestions for a movie recap in the comments section below, it may be the one we cover next. Whatever the genre, a mind-bending thriller, an intense drama, or an action-packed blockbuster, no movie is off bounds. Get creative and let us know what you would want to see, and your concept could end as published. Click like and share your top selections. Together, let's review some magical movies. Or stay tuned for the recap movies we will be recapping on iMovie Recap Studios.